Hello guys, how are you guys today on YouTube? I'm doing pretty good. Well, I want to talk about this very old flashlight I got from my uncle a long time ago. It's a pretty nice flashlight. It's a pretty heavy D flashlight. I don't know, the battery just doesn't seem to last on it anymore as much like it used to. Definitely when I turn it on and it slowly drains out the battery. I noticed that when I keep using the battery and using the flashlight. I do keep the flashlight charged all the time, but once I unplug it and let it sit for a little bit, and the battery just drains completely, I think it's time for me to replace the sealed lead acid battery in this flashlight itself. And also it has some type of halogen bulb um, on the inside of it. And I don't know what type of bulb that is. I really don't know. Honestly, I don't know much about this flashlight, but it's a pretty good flashlight. It's usable. It's really bright during the night time when you gotta go see something. But again, the battery life just doesn't last very long on this flashlight. We do have two on and off switches. Both of these on and off switches do work. You guys can see, I think that's the low mode. This is supposed to be the high mode. If we double it up, you guys can see it goes kind of dim. But I don't know. You know, and this here was something my uncle put on here. It's called one of those battery connectors, and he apparently had some type of different charger he used to use for the battery to actually keep the battery topped up and everything else. But I don't have one of those. I just have one of those old plug in the wall style plugs. You know, one of those ones that just plugs into the wall. And on this side we have a charging port, and we have a known battery to DC converter on this side. But it's a pretty cool looking old flashlight. I really do like it a lot. This flashlight is pretty heavy with this sealed acid battery inside of it. It does have a handle, and you can actually put a strap on and carry it on your shoulder. And this has the little legs to lift it off the ground so you can adjust the height and everything else. But I don't know what type of battery I should get for it. And I would actually like to replace the bulb in it, but I like to use a different type of bulb. Maybe an LED bulb might last a bit longer in this flashlight, but I don't know without doing too much modifications to the housing here to actually fit the new LED bulb inside of it. But the battery is stored right here. All you gotta do is take out the 4 screws, and the battery pops right out. Now let's go and take a look at the battery here. Now, this battery is from 2007, and it doesn't really last that long. But I try to keep this thing charged every single day. When I need it for emergency flashlight power and stuff like that. But on things you can kind of on off of this. Guys can see I do have a little these little disconnects on the battery itself, and it just pops right out. There you guys can see it's about this big and about this wide and about that thick. But yeah, once I take the battery out, the flashlight is now a lot lighter. Very nicely designed little flashlight there. Probably not the cheapest battery and not the cheapest flashlight, but it just doesn't seem to last as long anymore. But you guys can see it's a 12 volt 7 amp hour battery, and that's what this flashlight uses. And we also have those slip-on type connectors, like your positives and your negative side. And it has a date code right on it, 2007 5/18. That's the date code on this battery. This battery is a sealed battery. I can't actually open it up and put any type of liquid in it because this is called a dry battery. But sometimes when you notice your battery starting to die out or something, you notice a bulge on the flashlight battery, on this battery itself, and I don't see any type of bulging or cracking on the case. I just noticed kind of just wearing out, and it's just very old. I can probably buy a different battery for this, like a non 12 volt 70 amp hour battery made on a Radio Shack or something. But these are going to be kind of expensive to replace in this type of flashlight. But that's what this flashlight uses, and that's what the bulb needs the extra power to able to use in this flashlight. Now, without the battery being in here, the flashlight is useless, and it not going to be able to use it without having a battery in it. But we do have different types of connections. We have the 12 volt side, and the other side, the hot side. Whatever side the positives and the negatives goes on. But I actually marked them. You guys can see the red goes to the red side, and the positives is actual the on side. That's the 12 volt ground, I guess, on this battery. But the battery does so worn out. It doesn't stay working as like it's supposed to anymore. But I'm gonna probably have to look something up to replace the battery for this. Maybe try to replace the bulb in this. I don't know what bulb this has in it. I honestly don't know much about this flashlight. This flashlight is a very nice unit to have during a storm or a power goes out. Problem is, this flashlight is not a waterproof flashlight at all. Just to let you guys know that. I know it has this like a big, thick bezel here. This is a rubber bezel, but it's not a waterproof flashlight. It doesn't have a gasket around the base of the battery, and we have air vents all the way around the flashlight to suck out the heat. And this flashlight does get very, very warm and very hot, and it dies very quickly when I leave it on for a couple days now. Now, even letting this sit, I can even drain the battery out completely. By not even having it turned on, it can drain itself out. But let's go and pop this battery back in and kind of show you on why I like this flashlight. It's a pretty nice flashlight to actually have for a certain day use. But everyday use for this flashlight, it takes a lot of tolls on batteries, I tell you. And these batteries can be quite expensive. Now let's gotta put these plus and negatives leads back on. And just make sure you actually get them in there pretty good. And you would actually put the back on, and you would actually screw the back door on the battery door like that. And you just gotta like make sure you tuck all your wires in and make sure they're not getting pinched or anything like that. I have the actual 4 screws for this. I just took it out. But this flashlight does work. You guys can see it does take a while for the battery to actually light up that light bulb. That light bulb, I just don't know. I think it's probably a halogen bulb. I'm not 100% sure. If you guys want to know what the name of it is, there's the name right there. I don't know what this flashlight really is, but it's a good flashlight to actually have. And by the way, whoop, it was back of it. The battery back's falling off because I don't have to screw it in. This is a glass lens, and that's a metal reflector for this style flashlight because of how hot this bulb would actually get. Because if you actually had a plastic reflector, or if you had a plastic lens, what would happen was the plastic, the reflector on the lens would just totally melt from the heat of the bulb itself. But that's why this has air vents all the way around it to keep this flashlight cool. And this back, again, it only has 4 screws. It only holds. Typically, you won't have a wire like this. This will typically actually come off completely from the back itself. But the way my uncle wired this is he put this type of wire on it to actually maintain the type of battery what's in here. Now, this just slides up like that, and it slides right in. And you can take the battery completely out and replace the battery itself. Now, when you notice your flashlight is no longer charging, or no longer holding the charge, or no longer sustaining the charge, is the battery life is depleting a lot faster than what it needs to be. And like I said, it's about this thick, this wide, and about that skinny. It's like one of those funny batteries. Now, these batteries you cannot open. They're sealed for a reason. Okay, these are called sealed lead acid batteries. Once they've been made, they be made. You don't throw these away. You recycle these old batteries. But that's the battery users. So I just have to go buy a new one for me or check or something. But like I said, this flashlight is a very good, handy tool to have for when the power does go out, or if you need to actually see something. But I would not recommend carrying this type of flashlight around for a very long time. This flashlight will get kind of heavy, and it will probably will kill your arm by carrying it every day and every single day of the year. If you're needing a simple flashlight, I just recommend a small flashlight. But this is just a heavy duty flashlight with a 12 volt steel acid battery. But I don't know what to do here, guys. I don't know if I want to change out the bulb yet. I'd actually like to do that because that probably would save me the batteries and also battery life as well on this flashlight. Alright guys, if you're all brand new to this channel, please hit that subscribe button. If you know anything about these big giant flashlights, please leave a comment down below. Please like, please share. Peace out. Bye guys, we'll see you in the next vlog.